For more than 2 decades, the world's knowledge has been accessed through a single dominant ritual: typing a query into a search box and receiving a list of 10 blue links. This model, pioneered and perfected by Google, was revolutionary. It organized the chaotic expanse of the early internet and put it at our fingertips. But today, that experience is often a frustrating journey through a digital landscape filtered with SEO optimized spam, intrusive ads, and content designed to capture clicks, not deliver knowledge. Recent studies reveal a growing dissatisfaction. Over 50% of consumers report feeling misled by search results, and a quarter say they often end up somewhere unexpected after clicking a link. The system, for many, is no longer about finding an answer. It's about navigating a labyrinth. From a San Francisco headquarters, a small startup is proposing a radical departure from this model. Perplexity AI is not just another search engine or a simple chatbot. It is built on a fundamentally different philosophy: answers, not links. It builds itself as a research engine, a knowledge discovery tool, less like a librarian who points you to a section of the library, and more like one who reads the relevant books for you, synthesizes the key points, and presents a concise, cited summary. This is the story of a company founded by former AI researchers from Google and OpenAI that is building a product from the ground up to do the one thing Google's multi-$100 billion advertising model makes it hesitant to do: just give you the answer. But in a world where Google is the default, woven into the very fabric of the internet itself, can a small startup with a better idea truly compete? How does it plan to make money without becoming the very thing it seeks to replace? And can it survive the immense legal and competitive pressures from giants who have just woken up to the threat? To understand the shift Perplexity represents, one need only look at a simple, real world query. Ask Google, how do I steam dumplings without a steamer? And the user is presented with a cluttered pages of sponsored ads, video carousels, a people who ask section, and finally, the traditional list of links. The user is still required to click through multiple sources, scroll past personal anecdotes on recipe blogs, and perform the mental work of comparing techniques to arrive at a solution. The same query on Perplexity yields a starkly different result. The platform returns a direct step by step guide, synthesizing the most effective methods from multiple top sources into a single coherent answer, complete with numbered citations that link back to the original articles and videos. This is not a minor tweak to the search experience, it is a paradigm shift. Perplexity is not a search engine, but an answer engine, a term it uses to describe its core function. The goal is to save users time and, more importantly, cognitive load by eliminating the need to sift through results and perform the synthesis themselves. The minimalist chat like interface of Perplexity stands in sharp contrast to Google's increasingly busy results page, which many users now find overwhelming. But the value proposition goes beyond aesthetics. For complex research, Perplexity's model truly distinguishes itself. A query like compare current NPU designs from major chip manufacturers is a difficult task for a traditional search engine, which would return a mix of technical papers, news articles, and marketing materials. Perplexity, using its pro search or deep research functions, can tackle this by conducting dozens of automated, iterative searches, reading hundreds of sources, and delivering a comprehensive, structured report in just a few minutes. This capability transforms the engine from a simple Q&A tool into a powerful research assistant capable of tackling tasks that would have previously taken hours or days of manual work. A foundational pillar of Perplexity's philosophy is transparency. Designed to build user trust and directly combat the hallucination problem, that plagues many generative AI models: their tendency to invent facts. Every significant statement in a Perplexity answer is accompanied by a numbered citation, a small, clickable footnote that takes the user directly to the source article, website, or academic journal where the information was found. This trust but verify model empowers users to check the facts for themselves and explore topics in greater depth if they choose. The system, however, is not infallible. The quality of a Perplexity answer is ultimately dependent on the quality of the information available on the web. Users and journalists have noted instances where the engine has cited low quality or even plagiarized sources and has occasionally summarized information inaccurately. This really means that while Perplexity provides a powerful starting point, critical users must still engage with the sources to ensure accuracy. Adopting the very trust but verify approach the platform encourages. The core of Perplexity's appeal lies not just in a better search result, but in a fundamentally different process of inquiry. Google's model is predicated on user led discovery. It provides the map and the compass in the form of links, but the user must undertake the journey of exploration and synthesis. The primary pain point for users has become the cognitive effort required to navigate this journey. Perplexity's design directly targets this friction by having the AI perform the synthesis for the users. The inclusion of citations is the critical component that elevates it from a mere chatbot to a legitimate research tool, addressing the primary weakness of its generative AI peers: their unreliability. This strategic focus positions Perplexity not as a complete replacement for every Google function. It struggles with real time local queries like movie showtimes or restaurant hours, but as a superior tool for a specific high value use case: knowledge work and complex research. This is a classic disruptor's dilemma strategy, attacking an incumbent not head on, but by excelling in a niche the giant has overlooked. Perplexity AI was founded in August 2022, but its origins trace back to the world's most elite artificial intelligence laboratories. The team was assembled by four founders with formidable credentials: Aravind Srinivas as CEO, Dennis Yaratz as CTO, Johnny Ho as Chief Strategy Officer, and Andy Konwinski. Their collective resume includes research and engineering roles at Google AI, OpenAI, DeepMind, and Facebook AI Research, with academic roots at top tier institutions like UC Berkeley and New York University. This deep shared expertise in AI and machine learning gave the fledgling startup instant credibility in a field crowded with hype and speculation. At the center of this team is CEO Aravind Srinivas. Born in Chennai, India, Srinivas was a standout student at the prestigious Indian Institute of Technology, IIT Madras. Though he earned a dual degree in electrical engineering, his true passion lay in machine learning. This interest, sparked by a university contest and nurtured by a professor who encouraged cross departmental study, eventually led him to pursue a PhD in computer science at the University of California, Berkeley. There, he studied under the guidance of AI pioneer Peter Abel, a period during which he also held research internships at OpenAI, DeepMind, and Google. Srinivas' motivation was deeply personal and intellectual. He has stated that his goal was never just to publish academic papers, but to build something tangible and impactful. He was profoundly influenced by an old interview where Google co founder Larry Page described true search as a problem that would ultimately require powerful artificial intelligence to solve. This planted the seed for what would become a direct challenge to Google's dominance. His drive was also shaped by his childhood. Growing up in India before the internet was widespread, he relied on the physical set of Britannica encyclopedias. an experience that fostered a deep, lifelong appreciation for the pursuit and accessibility of knowledge. The company's journey did not begin with a grand plan to reinvent web search. The team's first product, launched in December 2022, was a niche tool called Bird SQL. It used OpenAI's early models to translate natural language questions into SQL code, allowing users to query Twitter's massive database as if it were a relational database. This initial project, while clever, was quickly upended by market forces when Twitter announced it will be charging for API access, rendering the tool's business model unviable. The true aha moment arrived with the public expansion of ChatGPT in late 2022. The Perplexity founders recognized both the immense potential of conversational AI and its most critical flaw. Chatbots often fabricated information with confident authority. They saw a clear opportunity to create a product that could marry the conversational power of large language models, LLMs, with a factual grounding of web search, using verifiable citations as the essential bridge between the two. This pivot defined the company's core mission. The culture of Perplexity was forged in this early, intense period. It was defined by a relentless focus on speed, rapid iteration, and a unique approach to hiring. For its first 10 employees, the company eschewed traditional interviews. Instead, candidates were given paid, real world tasks to complete over a trial period, a method designed to test not just their technical skills, but their cultural fit and passion for the mission. The origin story of Perplexity reveals a company guided by a specific philosophy. The founders' backgrounds are in applied AI research, not just the construction of massive infrastructure, which informs their product first approach. Their initial work on Bird SQL demonstrates that their thinking was always rooted in retrieving verifiable, structured answers, not just generating creative text. The pivot to a general answer engine was a nimble response to a clear market signal: the success of ChatGPT and a perceived product gap, its unreliability. This agility and focus on truth seeking has become the company's primary competitive advantage. While a tech giant like Google can eventually replicate any single feature, it is far more difficult to replicate a culture and product DNA that has been built from the ground up to solve a problem in a fundamentally different way. As Srinivas himself has repeatedly warned, the only defense against being copied by big tech is to innovate faster and build a resilient, trusted brand. At its technical heart, Perplexity is not a conventional large language model in the same vein as ChatGPT. It operates as an answer machine built upon a powerful framework known as Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG. This architecture is a key to its ability to provide timely and sourced answers. The RAG process can be understood in a simple, sequential manner. When a user submits a query, Perplexity does not immediately turn to its AI model. First, a search component retrieves a set of relevant, up to date documents and web pages from the live internet. Second, the key information from these fresh sources is fed into a large language model, which augments its existing knowledge base with its new context. Finally, the LLM uses this combined information to generate a concise, conversational, and synthesized answer for the user. This retrieval first approach is what enables Perplexity to answer questions about current events and provide real time information, a crucial advantage over early chatbots that were limited by the static nature of their training data. A core element of Perplexity's technical strategy is that it does not aim to build the world's largest and most powerful foundational model from scratch. This is an incredibly capital intensive endeavor dominated by giants like Google, OpenAI, and Anthropic. Instead, Perplexity functions as an intelligent orchestration layer that sits on top of these existing models. This model agnostic approach is a key feature of its premium offering. Perplexity Pro subscribers can choose which underlying engine powers their search, selecting from a menu of best in class models that includes OpenAI's GPT 4.1, Anthropic's Cloud 4.0, and Google's Gemini. This turns a potential weakness, the lack of a fully proprietary, world leading model, into a user centric future, offering flexibility and access to the latest technology from across the industry. Simultaneously, the company develops its own in house model, such as the Sonar series, which are built upon powerful open source models like Meta's Llama. These in house models are not designed to compete on raw general intelligence, but are instead fine tuned for the specific skills that are critical for Perplexity's product: fast and accurate summarization and the precise integration of citations. This hybrid strategy gives the company greater control over the user experience and, crucially, its operational costs. Perplexity's core innovation, therefore, is not the creation of a new form of artificial intelligence. It is the masterful orchestration of existing technologies, web search, the RAG framework, and a suite of third party and in house LLMs to create a superior and more trustworthy product experience. In an industry where access to powerful AI models is becoming a commodity available through APIs, Perplexity has chosen to compete on the product layer. Its primary moat is not its raw technology, but the user experience, speed, and trust it builds through its unique architecture and unwavering commitment to citations. This focus on the end product is what distinguishes it from competitors and provides a defense against the critics that is merely a GPT wrapper. Perplexity's strategy for market penetration is built on a classic freemium model. The free standard version of the product is robust, offering users unlimited quick searches and a daily allowance of 5 more intensive pro searches. This powerful free tier serves as the company's primary user acquisition funnel, allowing millions to experience the core product without a financial commitment. The approach has fueled staggering growth. By May 2025, the company reported it was handling 780 million queries per month, with a daily volume of around 30 million, serving a base of 22 million active users. This rapid adoption demonstrates a significant market appetite for an alternative to traditional search. The company's primary revenue stream comes from a multi tiered subscription model designed to capture different segments of the market. Perplexity Pro, the flagship paid offering priced at $20 per month, is aimed at individual power users. It unlocks much higher daily limits of pro searches, the ability to select from advanced AI models like GPT 4.1 and Cloud 4, the capacity to upload and analyze files, and access to AI image generation tools. Perplexity Max, introduced in July 2025, the premium tier costs $200 per month and targets professionals like researchers, writers, and business strategists who require limitless AI productivity. It removes all caps on Pro features and provides early access to new products. Enterprise Pro. This B2B offering, starting at $40 per seat per month, is a critical pillar of the company's long term strategy. It provides businesses with advanced administrative controls, enhanced data privacy guarantees, customer data is never used for model training, and the ability to search across a company's internal knowledge bases, such as Notion, Slack, and Google Docs. After initially positioning itself as a clean, ad free alternative to Google, Perplexity made a strategic pivot in late 2024, beginning to test an advertising model. The company has been careful to design this model to be as non intrusive as possible, avoiding the disruptive banner ads that clutter traditional search pages. Instead, its primary ad format is sponsored questions, which appear alongside organically generated related questions and are clearly labeled as sponsored. Another format involves contextual video ads that can appear in a sidebar. Crucially, Perplexity maintains that the AI generated answers themselves will remain neutral and cannot be directly influenced by advertisers. The model operates on a premium CPM, cost per thousand impressions, basis, with rates estimated at over $50, signaling a focus on high value, targeted advertising rather than mass market display ads. The move to monetize through ads, which are informed by content scraped from across the web, create an immediate and predictable conflict with content creators. To address this, Perplexity proactively launched a revenue sharing program for publishers. Under this model, when a publisher's article is cited in an answer that generates advertising revenue, that publisher receives a portion of the income. This strategic initiative aims to build a more sustainable and ethical information ecosystem. By turning potential legal adversaries into financial partners, Perplexity hopes to create a coalition of support. Major media outlets, including Time, Fortune, and Germany's Der Spiegel, have already joined the program. The combination of a compelling product and a savvy growth strategy has led to a dramatic rise in Perplexity's financial standing. The company's valuation has skyrocketed, climbing from $520 million in January 2024 to a reported $1 billion by April 2024, and is projected to reach $18 billion following a new funding round in mid 2025. To date, it has raised over $815 million from a roster of top tier investors that includes Jeff Bezos' venture fund, NVIDIA, and the SoftBank Vision Fund. This financial ascent is mirrored by its revenue growth, with annual recurring revenue (ARR) projected to hit $100 million in 2025, a five-fold increase from just $20 million in 2024. Perplexity's business model is a complex and delicate balancing act. It is attempting to build a subscription-first business, which requires convincing users to pay for information in a market long dominated by a free incumbent. At the same time, it is introducing a premium advertising model to supplement that revenue, while also creating a publisher revenue sharing scheme to maintain access to its most crucial raw material, high quality content. This three pronged approach is a direct and strategic reaction to the core challenges of its existence. The freemium model is necessary for mass adoption. The subscription tiers are designed to capture high value users willing to pay for productivity. The ad model provides the scale needed to justify its valuation, and the publisher program is a legal and ethical glue attempting to hold the entire system together. If successful, this could pioneer a new kind of information economy, one based not on indirect payment through traffic, but on direct value exchange for the use of information itself. The most immediate and persistent threat to Perplexity's existence is the simple fact that its larger competitors can and will replicate its best features. CEO Aravind Srinivas has been remarkably candid about this reality, warning aspiring founders in the AI space they will copy anything that's good. You've got to live with that fear. Perplexity's own journey is a testament to this. Shortly after it launched its real time web crawling answer engine in late 2022, the feature that made it stand out, the tech giants responded in kind. Google rolled out its AI overuse. OpenAI integrated Browse with Bing into ChatGPT, and Anthropic's cloud also gained web crawling capabilities. The competitive moat for any single feature is vanishingly small. This dynamic is now playing out in the browser space. Perplexity's launch of its agentic browser, Comet, was quickly followed by reports that OpenAI was preparing its own AI powered browser, a move that could leverage its massive ChatGPT user base to instantly dominate the market. While competition is a challenge, legal battles pose an existential risk. Perplexity's entire RAG model is built on its ability to scrape and synthesize content from the web, and this has placed it directly in the crosshairs of some of the world's most powerful media companies. In October 2024, a major lawsuit was filed by Dow Jones, the publisher of the Wall Street Journal and the New York Post, accusing Perplexity of massive illegal copying and widespread copyright infringement. The BBC has sent similar legal warnings, signaling a broad front of opposition from established media. The core of the publisher's argument is that Perplexity's business model is fundamentally parasitic. They contend that by providing direct summaries, Perplexity deprives them of the web traffic and associated advertising revenue that funds their journalism, effectively free riding on their expensive to produce content. Perplexity's defense rests on the legal doctrine of fair use, arguing that its AI generated summaries constitute a transformative new work. The outcome of these lawsuits is highly uncertain, but a ruling against Perplexity could set a devastating precedent for the entire generative AI industry and could invalidate the company's core technological approach overnight. Beyond the legal threats, Perplexity faces a constant battle for trust. While its commitment to citations is a core strength, the engine is not immune to the flaws of AI. Independent tests by journalists and users have documented instances where the engine hallucinates, providing inaccurate summaries or even fabricating information and then incorrectly attributing it to a credible source. Each instance of inaccuracy, particularly when it misrepresents the work of a respected publisher, damages not only Perplexity's reputation, but also that of the source it cites. Furthermore, there are lingering ethical questions about its data gathering practices. The company has been accused of citing plagiarized content scraped from secretary sites instead of the original source, and of ignoring the robots exclusion protocol, a long standing web standard that allows publishers to opt out of having their sites crawled by bots. These practices undermine its truth seeking brand and provide further ammunition for its legal opponents. The very technology that gives Perplexity its edge, its ability to retrieve and synthesize real time web data, is also its greatest vulnerability. To be more useful than a standard LLM, it must access live web. To do so at scale, it must scroll and index vast amounts of information, including content from publishers who have invested significant resources in its creation. This act of copying is the central issue in the lawsuits. If the courts decide that this does not constitute fair use, Perplexity's business model could be rendered economically unviable, as it will be impossible to negotiate licensing deals with every source on the internet. This legal battle is, in effect, a proxy war for the future of information itself, pitting the disruptive ethos of Silicon Valley against the established business models of traditional media. Perplexity finds itself at the absolute epicenter of this generational conflict.